You check your bank account on a Thursday night after rent clears. The number is $114. You have 11 days until payday. You do the math in your head without meaning to. Groceries, gas, the copay you've been pushing to next month. You already know how it ends. You close the app and set your phone face down on the mattress. This is not a crisis. That's the part nobody tells you. It's just Tuesday. It's just how the month goes. It's just your life, running on a 2-week loop, and nothing about it is building toward anything. You are 22. You open a brokerage account with $47. It feels stupid. You do it anyway. 23 years later, that account and every quiet decision attached to it becomes $2,200,000. Not a windfall, not a salary, not luck you can point to, just a system you refuse to break. Here is what happens in between. Age 20, whoa. You start broke but still responsible for your future. Your first apartment costs $870 a month and smells like the previous tenant's dog. You split it with someone from your college floor because the math doesn't work any other way. You buy groceries on Sundays so you don't make decisions when you're hungry and tired. You learn that hungry and tired is when you spend money on things that don't help you. Your paycheck is $1,940 after taxes. You write out where it goes on a notes app. Rent, $435. Car insurance, $112. Student loan minimum, $180. Groceries, $160. Gas, $60. Phone, $45. That is $992. You have $948 left and the month is a month long. You set up an automatic transfer for $75 every payday. It goes to an index fund you read about in a Reddit thread at 1 in the morning. You don't fully understand it. You understand enough. You know it owns small pieces of hundreds of companies. You know it grows when they grow. You know the fee is low. You know you're not smart enough to beat it and humble enough to admit that. $75, twice a month. $150 a month, $1,800 a year. It feels like nothing. You send it anyway. You treat it the same way you treat rent, non-negotiable. Not something you decide each month. Not a reward for being good with money. A bill, the first bill. Everything else comes after. Your friends from college start posting about weekends in Nashville and Austin. You like their photos. You're not angry about it. You just notice that you've made a different decision about what this year is for. Nobody is coming to fix your financial timeline. You understood that the moment rent cleared and there was $114 left. You stop waiting for conditions to improve before you start. Age 23 to 24. Your life starts drifting away from your peers. Marcus gets a raise and buys a new couch, a TV, and flights to Mexico in the same month. You get a raise and increase your transfer to $200 a month. You don't feel superior about it. You feel the weight of the decision every time someone says the name of a restaurant you're not going to. You feel it in the group chat when the trip gets planned and you go quiet for a minute before typing back. But here is what you also feel. Your account has $4,200 in it, then $6,800, then $9,100. The number means nothing in your daily life. You can't eat it. You can't wear it. You can't take it to the thing everyone else is doing on Saturday. But it is there. It is yours. And it does not disappear at the end of the month. That is a new feeling. The first time money has ever survived you. Your coworker Devin says you should just enjoy your 20s. He says this at lunch over a $17 salad. And you nod and you don't argue because he's not wrong that enjoyment matters. But you've noticed something about Devin. He earns more than you and his account balance, when he mentions it, is lower. He has nicer things. He has nothing accumulating. You start seeing it everywhere once you see it. Spending first, thinking later. That's most people. You flipped it. You invest first. Everything else fits around that. Not because you're disciplined in some heroic way, because you automated it and now it's just what happens. Your portfolio is slow, painfully slow. You check it and feel mildly annoyed that it isn't more exciting. You check it anyway. You keep sending the money. Age 25 to 27. You face the year that makes most people quit. The market drops 24% over 7 months. You watch your account go from $18,400 to $13,900. You watch it happen slowly enough that you feel each step down. You open the app on a bad Tuesday and the number is smaller than the month before by more than you contributed. You are losing money by doing the right thing. That sentence loops in your head. You sit with it. You let yourself feel genuinely stupid for a week. You read articles that confirm your fear and articles that argue against it. And you realize nobody actually knows what happens next, and they're all just writing confidently about not knowing. You think about stopping. Concretely, specifically think about it. You run the scenario. You pull the money. You put it in a savings account at 4.2%. You wait until things feel stable. Then you get back in. You almost do it. You don't. Not because you are brave. Because you sit down one night and do the math on what pulling out and waiting costs you if the market recovers and you're not in it. And the number is ugly enough to keep you seated. You keep contributing during the worst months. The months where it feels like feeding a machine that doesn't want your money. The months where every financial headline is written to make you feel reckless for staying. You stay. The market recovers. Your account reaches $22,000. Then $27,000. The dip disappears inside the longer graph. You zoom out and the panic of those months becomes a small line going sideways before continuing up. You do not feel vindicated. You feel tired in a useful way. The market will do this again. You've already decided what you'll do when it does. Age 28 to 30. Your money starts working without your input. Your contribution is $400 a month now. You earn more. You've kept your lifestyle from expanding as fast as your income. Your account is at $61,000. Then one month, your account grows by $900. You contributed $400. The account grew $900. You didn't do anything. You didn't work extra hours. You didn't sell anything. You didn't make a single decision. The money already inside the account made money. You stare at that for a long time. This is the thing people try to explain, and it doesn't land until it lands. Compounding is not a concept anymore. It is a deposit you didn't earn. It is returns generating returns. It is the system you built in your broke 20s, quietly becoming something that operates without you. You stop looking for better strategies. You found the one that works. Consistent contributions, diversified index funds, low fees, no interruptions. The boring answer. The only answer that has held. You stop watching finance influencers who say they've found a faster path. You've noticed something about fast paths. They require your constant attention, your constant decision-making, your constant emotional management. Your path requires almost none of that. You set the transfer. You live your life. You check in quarterly. Slow money starts to look like the only money that actually stays. Age 31 to 35. Compounding becomes the main character. You are 33 and your account is at $240,000. You contributed, over 11 years, roughly $58,000. The rest is growth. The rest is the money working while you slept, while you were at the grocery store, while you were on a flight, while you were having dinner, while you were doing literally anything else. You do not feel like a genius. You feel like someone who showed up consistently to something that rewarded consistency. Work is still your job, but your relationship to it changes. You are not terrified of losing it. That shift is subtle and enormous at the same time. You negotiate differently. You speak in meetings differently. You make decisions at work without the background noise of financial panic, because the background noise is gone. You are not rich. You are not free, but you are no longer fragile. You stop adjusting your portfolio based on how you feel. You stopped doing that years ago, actually, but now it feels permanent. The strategy is the strategy. You are not smarter than the system you built at 22. You don't try to be. The gap between earning income and building wealth becomes something you live inside every day. Income is what happens when you work. Wealth is what accumulates when the system runs. You have both running now. Age 36 to 40, you stop thinking in salary terms. Your portfolio crosses $600,000 and the number feels strange, not exciting, strange, detached from daily life in a way you didn't expect. You buy groceries and the receipt is $73 and it registers the same way it always did. But somewhere, in a brokerage account on your phone, a number moves by $4,000 in a Tuesday afternoon without you touching anything. You stop mentally converting things into hours of work. That shirt is 4 hours of work. That dinner is 2 hours. You used to do this automatically. You don't anymore. Not because you're reckless. Because your financial identity is no longer tied only to your labor. You think more about protecting what exists than accelerating what's coming. You increase your emergency fund. You review your asset allocation. You are not chasing returns. You are guarding structure. There is a version of this where you blow it in your late 30s on a bad decision or an expensive failure. You've watched it happen to other people. You don't want to be the cautionary tale that almost made it. Work becomes optional in function. You don't say this out loud because it sounds like bragging, and also because it's more complicated than it sounds. You still have identity tied to what you do. You still find meaning in it. But you are not there because the alternative is financial collapse. That changes everything quietly. Age 41 to 45. You cross the number without a moment of celebration. You are 44 when the account crosses 2 million. You are in line at a coffee shop when you check your phone. The notification says your portfolio value is $2,014,000. You order an oat milk latte. You tip $2. You sit by the window and feel mostly ordinary. This is not what you imagined at 22. At 22, you imagined there would be something, a feeling, a moment, a distinct before and after. You imagined you'd know when you got there. You're there. You feel like yourself. The number grew from 2,014,000 to 2,220,000 over the next 14 months without you contributing $1 more than you already planned to. The system didn't need a bigger push. It needed you not to stop it. At 45, you make a decision. You don't quit your job immediately. You restructure. You cut to part-time. You work on things that interest you. You say no to the projects that drain you. You negotiate from a position of someone who doesn't need to say yes. You are not different overnight. You are the result of 276 consecutive months of sending money to an account before you gave yourself the chance to spend it. You are the result of a market drop that you survived at 26. You are the result of every month you automated instead of deliberated. The urgency that lived in your chest from ages 22 to 30 is gone. You look for it sometimes, out of habit. It's not there. You didn't win. There was no finish line, no scoreboard, no announcement. You just never stopped playing. And one day you looked up, and the game had changed entirely in your favor. The $47 didn't build the 2.2 million. The decision to send it did, and the decision, every month after that, to send it again. If it landed, like the video. If you want more of this, subscribe. Consistency built the 2.2 million. It is also building this channel.